Alright, how to use a food scale 101. I'm going to show you today how I use my kitchen scale to weigh out my food. This is especially helpful for when you are counting macros and trying to adhere to prescribed macronutrient numbers. So that's proteins, carbs, and fats that you maybe prescribe for the day, catered toward whatever fitness goal you have, whether it's fat loss. If you're on a contest prep, then you may be counting macros. Maybe you're just dieting for yourself, or you're reverse dieting, or you're bulking, or whatever. This is a really, really important skill. It's very, very simple. So I'm going to take a few minutes to run you through this. As far as food scales, I like just any regular digital scale will do. But this brand, this is the Eat Smart Precision Pro Digital Kitchen Scale brand. It works really well. It's really reliable. I've had it for a number of years. I believe I've had it for about 3 years until I had to switch it out and buy a new one. So, and I'd say for a food scale, that's really good. It costs only between, I want to say, 20 to 30 bucks, very reasonable. You can buy it right off of Amazon. So this is how, if you come closer, I'll show you how we weigh food. So I'm going to show you what I do with my evening treat meal that I do just about every evening. I have Greek yogurt, M&Ms, and sometimes if I can afford the fats in my macros, like today is a higher fat day, I'll also toss in some natural chunky peanut butter. So there are a number of ways to weigh your food. I'm going to show you the two methods that I use. So first things first, you want to put, if you have a bowl or a plate or whatever, you want to put it on the food scale, and obviously after turning it on, and then it's going to read out some number, right? It weighs however many grams or ounces, or you can also do kilos, ounces, pounds, and grams. I do grams for most measurements because it's the most accurate for me. So from here, you can tare it, which pretty much sets the weight back to zero again. So with the bowl, I mean, if you don't want to have to do extra math, right? So it's easier just to tare it, set it to zero. I'm going to weigh out 220 grams of Greek yogurt first, but because I also am going to have yogurt on the spoon, I'm going to add the spoon to the scale and tare that also. That way, whatever I scoop out ends up being just the weight of the added Greek yogurt. So from here, I do 220 grams. That tends to be about a fourth of this container. So that so far is 260. I went over. That's okay. You can take it back out. Wait again. 216. I'm 4 off. Okay, so add a smidge more. 224. Okay, let's just say that's good enough. All right. Next thing I like to do is I'm going to toss in some stevia. New Naturals, new stevia. This is the brand that I use. Technically it has no calories, so I normally just dump some in. And I don't track that weight-wise. It's never affected my progress at all. And then you just stir it up real good. Next thing I'm going to do is my mini M&Ms. And this is something I really like. I'm a big texture girl. I love texture. I love crunch. So mini M&Ms are perfect because they're smaller. I feel like I get more out of each bite. But, so here we go. I just keep them in a container by itself. I keep a good stash. Have to be well stocked, otherwise I get a little bit nervous. So here we can do, this time I'm actually going to tare it, but instead of adding it to the bowl, I'm actually going to subtract it from the container. So you'll notice how I've tared it to zero here, and I'm going to weigh out 25 grams. But what it's going to look like is whenever I scoop it out, it's going to give me a negative number, right? Because I've actually taken weight off. So now it says -6, and I'm going to go -25. That's when I know I'm done. Always trying to help. That's -23 and 25. So that's the other way to take measurements, is negative. And lastly, I've got my peanut butter. Okay, first of all, I need a spoon. With peanut butter, I like to, for natural, it's helpful. This is a really simple tip, to keep it upside down because the oils won't get in the way. So I store it upside down. So I've got the all natural Smucker's chunky brand. I start out the same way as the mini M&Ms. I set it on here, food scale, tare it, and I'm going to weigh out for this meal I get 40 grams, so I'm very excited. So I'm gonna scoop out negative 40 grams. That's negative 40. So the reason why I like this is that, one, you save yourself an extra bowl. It's a lot easier to measure out. And probably the best part is that once you weigh out however much peanut butter you need, you can eat it right off the spoon. Best part. All right, that's how you use a food scale.